Hey, I'm Daniel Snyder on behalf of Seeking Alpha. Today, I am joined by Stephen Cress, the head of quantitative strategy at Seeking Alpha. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, I want to jump in and kind of give viewers a taste of our quant rating system and the mastermind behind the system. So, if you don't mind, could you just walk us briefly through your history?
Absolutely. Be my pleasure. So I have quite a long history in the world of finance. I've been in it for over 30 years now. I spent 14 years working at Morgan Stanley. My most recent focus, I should say, when I left Morgan Stanley was really working on a proprietary trading desk that I headed up in quantitative strategies. There were a number of other things that I did with investment research that led up to that prop trading, but that has a lot to do with where we are today with our quantitative strategies. After Morgan Stanley, I was the founder of a quant hedge fund in London. And simultaneously, when I was founding and started that quant hedge fund, I also started an investment research company that focused in quantitative strategies. And that company was purchased by Seeking Alpha. The platform that I created is now embedded on Seeking Alpha's website, which is known as our quant system.
Right. So for the people that don't really know, we say quantitative a lot. What is a quant rating system? What is this mystery thing going on behind the scenes?
Yeah, the quant system, it's, you may call it a technical term or not, but at the end of the day, what quant does is it looks at the same fundamental factors as any investment analyst would look at. We're looking at value, we're looking at growth, we're looking at profitability. But what the quant system really does is it sort of empowers computer processing to help us with our search through financial data. So it gives us the ability to search through thousands and thousands of stocks simultaneously as we're trying to zero in on where we find perfect value, perfect growth, or it can set up a system where it will list all the stocks and rank the stocks based on those investment metrics. So really, a lot of people also refer to it as quantamental because it is focused on investment fundamentals. But quant is really pretty simple. It's just taking all the investment metrics that we look at, jamming it into a computer and processing it so we can have a nice rank for each of those investment metrics.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's simple, but ultimately we're talking about a complicated algorithm, right? And this thing's scanning all sorts of different data points, right?
You're absolutely correct. I mean, there are very, very complex algorithms that we use and software to create our programs that will generate the output that it does. Also, with each quantitative strategist, they will have their own personal techniques to tweak the system and hopefully identify stocks that have better performance than other quants. So there are complex algorithms, but I like to think of it as if you're using your iPhone or an Android phone, you pick up the phone, you make a call, you see the digits right there. You want to pull up your apps, you see it right there, you point on it. Ideally, that's the output that we want to be able to produce. We want a user-friendly experience that makes it simple, but no question about it, the engineering behind it is very, very complex.
Right. So we have this complicated thing that happens daily, right? How often does it look into these new data points?
So we do refresh it daily, and what I'll do is I'll get into how we run our screens on a daily basis. But what I'd like to just touch on is how our quant rating system works. I gave you sort of a description of what quant is in general, but specifically with our quant rating system, what we try to do at Seeking Alpha is provide an instant characterization on each stock immediately. So when you go to the symbol page and you put in IBM or Microsoft or Apple, when you look at the right-hand side, you'll see a number of factor grades, you'll see a rating summary, and you will see a quant ranking. And it's this specific area on our symbol page that provides you with an instant characterization on the quality of that stock. There are also the conventional research reports by Wall Street analysts. And then on Seeking Alpha, we have our own contributing authors where people can read and get qualitative information. But the benefit of the quant is we do a lot of the work for you, and we can provide you with that instant picture on how does the stock look overall? Is it very bullish? Is it neutral? Is it very bearish? How does the value aspect look? How does the growth aspect look? Profitability will provide you with a grade A plus, B, C, D, or F. So you immediately will get a sense on those investment metrics what kind of rating there is. And what we focus on at Seeking Alpha are 5 core investment characteristics, which I just mentioned. We think it's really important to look at value, growth, momentum, earnings revision, and profitability. Those are the most important factors. Within each of those factors, there are underlying metrics, and we give our clients the ability to actually click on those overall factor groups that I mentioned as value and growth. And when they click on that, they'll actually see the underlying metrics. So what makes up growth? It will be revenue growth. It will be EBITDA growth. It will be earnings growth. It will be cash flow growth. And we really do a deep dive on these underlying metrics. We look at the historical growth metrics, but we also look at forward metrics as well. So it's important for us to put a picture out there that not only looks at the past, but also incorporates the future. And we do that by using professional analyst estimates for each stock. And when we take those estimates and we put it into our algorithm, we can provide a grade, and we can combine the historical grades with the forward grades to provide that overall group grade on growth. Same thing would be for value. When we look at PE or EBITDA or EBITDA sales, we take those grades for each of those specific metrics, and then we create an overall value grade. So what I really want to stress with our system, when we take a look at these grades, you will immediately get an instant characterization on how that stock stands relative to the sector. So our grades give you the perspective of how that company looks relative to the rest of the IT sector or relative to the rest of the energy sector based on the stock that you're looking at. If you're looking at a stock such as Procter & Gamble, you would be comparing it to the rest of the consumer staples sector. And if you want to know what those sectors are, underneath the factor grades where you see the quant ranking, we will tell you what that sector is, and you will actually be able to click on the sector and see all the stocks in the sector and how they rank in our grades. And I think I probably told you a little bit about how our quant rating system works there and our quant ranking system. Dave,
Right.
any other questions before I move on?
Yeah. So, and I just want to highlight, like, we're talking about comparing these stocks to their industry peers, like in their overall sector. Like that, I think that is such a powerful component behind our quant system, is that it's not just taking a Microsoft and comparing it to a Boeing, right? Like you're looking at the same sector and looking at what the yields are and what kind of the average mean of metrics are and comparing to that, which I think is amazing. My next question though is, as a user of Seeking Alpha, what are the most important places that I can see the quant system in action to really benefit me as a user?
Yeah, I'm really glad that you highlighted that. And I think one of the, I hate to sort of butter up our own system and say how great it is, but really, to be honest with you, something that we do that other data vendors don't do is that we actually interpret that data. So when I mention things like PE or earnings growth or revenue growth, almost all the other providers will give you that absolute data point for what that revenue number is or what that earnings number is or that PE ratio. What we do is we actually interpret that ratio so you instantly know, is it strong or weak versus the sector. And there are very, very few financial companies that will do that for their clients. And I could even say, we can go up against the top in the industry. You can look at Bloomberg or Reuters or FactSet. None of them interpret the data. And that's what we do so well at Seeking Alpha, is we actually interpret that data. So once that data is interpreted, to lead into your question, what's the best way to use this? There are really 3 primary sources that I would go to. I would look at top-rated stocks. I would look at portfolio ratings. And then I would look at the quant rating on the symbol page. So the first thing that people are most likely going to do is, if they're looking for an idea, they're going to want to go to top-rated stocks. So they go to our rating screener page, and they'll immediately find top-rated stocks on it. So as you're looking for that fresh idea, if you want to add stocks to your portfolio, this will give you a perfect layout of the ranking on the stocks, and it will tell you what the quant ranking is on it. It will also tell you what the Seeking Alpha authors rate on the stocks, as well as professional Wall Street analysts. So it'll actually give you a taste of recommendations from 3 completely independent sources. So the quant is not related at all to the Seeking Alpha authors, and the Seeking Alpha authors are not related to Wall Street analysts. So it's 3 complete different perspectives, and I really like that. When I look at top stocks, part of the beauty there, I call it the trifecta. If I can find stocks that are rated very bullish across the board, I feel like I have 3 independent companies validating these ideas. And then, of course, as you look at that screen, you'll see the overall metrics for value, growth, profitability, momentum, and you can see what the grades are there. And it gives you a great sense, okay, there's really substance behind these ideas. And if you want more substance, all you have to do is click on the name. It will bring you to the symbol page. And once you're on that symbol page, you can take a deeper dive by clicking on those actual overall metrics. So you click on value, and when you click on value, that will bring you to all the underlying metrics. So you'll see, when you click on value, you'll see PE. You'll not only see PE, but you'll see trailing PE, you'll see forward PE, you'll see PE for GAAP, PE for non-GAAP. So people have lots of different ways that they like to look at PE, and we make sure that we give a great user-friendly experience by providing our clients with what they want. But we go a lot deeper. We show EV to sales, we show price to book, price to cash. Again, we do it on a historical trailing basis, and we use the forward estimates ratios in there as well. So we really give our users a great picture of what value looks like, not just from one metric, but from some of the most important metrics that are out there. So yeah, top rated stocks, great place to go for ideas. And it'll show you basically, as of that time, we refresh the data for our platform every day for our quant system at 4 a.m. So part of what I like about our quant research versus some of the conventional research is when you look at a professional analyst research report, that report could be a week old, it could be a month old, it could be 4 months old. So the data that's inside that report is 4 months old. That's like going to a newspaper article from 4 months ago, reading it and making an investment decision based on something that was written 4 months ago. That's not really helpful in today's day and age. Markets trade every single day. Stocks trade numerous times a day. And what we do is we try to make sure that when we put out our metrics, everything has been calculated as of the last day. So at 4 a.m. every day, we refresh it. And when you look at that value grade or that growth grade or that profitability grade, you will know that that has been refreshed. And when those get refreshed, that helps decide the directional recommendation of a stock should remain very bullish or neutral or bearish. If those underlying metrics change, there's the potential that that overall directional recommendation can change as well. And you can count on Seeking Alpha to know that every single day we update the data.
And that's amazing too, especially this year, right? Think about all the news catalysts that happened this year between vaccine news or stimulus bills, COVID, of course. I mean, having a daily update has definitely been tremendous, I would say, for a lot of investors. So I want to ask you one more question though. If I'm not a premium user, how can I try out the Seeking Alpha Quant Rating System?
It's really pretty simple. We provide a free trial to people who want to test it out. When they're on the platform, if they look on the upper right-hand side, it'll say subscribe, and they can subscribe. They get 2 weeks for free. We have been signing up literally thousands of investors who have been on our free site to our premium site every week. At some points it's 1,000 a day. So people are really liking our new platform with the quant grades. But there's so much more than the quant grades with the contributor articles and the way the financials are broken down. It is just a tool that is completely rich in the ability to pick on different aspects that will help you make a better investment decision. So premium, easy to subscribe to, upper right-hand side, and you get 2 weeks for free. And I recommend if you do it, you load up your portfolio right away. and
Right.
look at the grades on your portfolio and see if that's what you think you want to be owning. You may be surprised. Some of these stocks may be super expensive. Some stocks, the growth may not be what you expected. And that is the benefit about our system. It will tell you immediately how these companies look relative to the rest of their sectors.
Right. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for creating this system. It is absolutely amazing. I know I use it every day. I know tons of people use it every day. So I will let you have the rest of your day back. Thank you so much for giving us insight into everything and really explaining deeper how the quant rating system works.
Thank
And
you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
yeah, no worries. And remember, if you want to try your free trial of Premium, go ahead and click the link below and sign up for your free 14-day trial today.